What's up YouTube, Demi here with another Demi Splains. This is a price checking guide for Path of Exile. So the first thing I want to say is that there are no concrete prices in Path of Exile for like rare items. So basically you're going to be comparing your items to similar items on PoE.trade, which is the main trading website that most players use to check their items against each other and whatnot, and buy and sell and trade and whatever. So basically, if you're the first person to find an item of a specific type, you set the price. Everybody compares based off you. But also, setting prices is kind of a really just a feel-based thing. As you play more, you'll kind of get into the hang of it, and you'll just be able to throw stuff in tabs and not worry about it. But the main thing is, you want to price items to sell. If it doesn't sell, you're not getting any currency. It's just wasting time in your stash. So like price it to sell, even if you don't like, if you're not sure what it's worth, throw it in a tab. If it's like, if you're totally clueless on a price, put it in a 5C tab. If somebody spams you instantly, you get like 100 PMs, it's probably worth more than that, and you might want to continue looking a little bit further into it, right? So like, to price a random item, let's just, I don't know, we'll pull out just a random rare item. Here you go. Alright, so yeah, we have a armor-based helmet that has strength, intelligence, armor, life regen, life. So there's a lot of dead rolls in Path of Exile. Things like life regen, reflect physical damage to attackers, rarity, mana regen to some extent. Like, there's a lot of dead mods, and you kind of have to learn to look past those mods to see what the stats on a thing actually are. Like, this thing would be life, strength, intelligence, and a fair amount of armor are like the powerful stats. So that's what you would search by. If I go look up a helm, and you always search by less than what it actually is, so you can find items that are like similar or better than yours. So if I do like, say, we'll do 800 armor because it's a 950 armor chest, and we'll do like 50 life. And there's a lot of like different ways to search for life. This is total life or actual what the roll is life down here. So we'll just do that. 50 life, some strength, some intelligence, and we'll see if we find anything similar. I might find my own. No, actually, I was like dead on with that one. Int 40, 50, 900 armor, 57. This is almost exactly the same, but this has an accuracy roll. I would argue that this is better, but this one's an X, this one's 2X. Like, you just kind of like price is similar to that. This one's obviously really well rolled, which is why it's so expensive, but these guys are pretty similar to ours. I had it pretty well priced at around 40 chaos. But you just do that with everything. So with like life and resistance gear, for example, something like this, it has life resist dex, right? So we just do helmet, and we do the same stuff that we just did. Search for life, flat life, about 70 life, and then we can view resistances. This is an important thing for resistances. You can search by pseudo total elemental resist. This has 43 plus 42, which adds up to what, 85. So we search for around 80 resist minimum and then higher. We should be able to find helms that are similar. We can also add the dexterity roll on here, just cause, what was it, like 36? 34. So we'll just do a little bit less than that and see if we can find anything similar. There you go, my helmet's overpriced. It's an enchant which does add value occasionally. Power Siphon is a pretty bad skill, so it's not really relevant. But yeah, these are like 10C, 30C, 1X, 1X, 2X. Actually, I guess it wasn't too overpriced. It was at 40C with an enchant, so this is pretty cheap. You just kind of have to compare what everybody else has. But as I said before, price it to sell, don't worry about it. When it comes to uniques, uniques are pretty easy to price check. Like, I'm wearing a Foxshade Wild Leather. If you just type in Foxshade, it'll just give you the name and you can just search for it. Uniques are very easy to price check. You just type in the unique name. When it comes to weapons, you usually search by the damage per second on it, which if you don't have an installation thing for a macro installed for it, like the Path of Exile trade macro is one that I use. It lets you control C to check physical DPS on a weapon. Like, this has 52, this has 45, this has 475. It's totally free to use. You can download it. You can also just like add the DPS together, like 25 plus 75 divided by 2, 25 plus 50 divided by 2 is 37.5 times 1.4 is 52-ish. That's the calculation for it, but there's a lot of places to get you to like show it online. So for example, if we look up I don't know, I'm gonna look up a really expensive weapon. Here, this is a 475 DPS one-handed sword, right? So we got a PV trade and we type in one-handed sword and we type in a minimum of 470 PDPS and hit search. We're gonna find things that are pretty freaking expensive, right? So at that point, if you want, how do you fine tune past this point? Well, you can add more specific roles. Like this has critical strike chance, critical strike multiplier, and bleed. Like it has 58 crit multi. So if we add some multi to this to make the rolls, like the more specific you get, the harder it is to find your item, basically, right? Because there's going to be less items that you're searching through. So if you do at least 50 multi, then we start finding the really expensive stuff. This is like 540 with the similar amount of multi, 540 similar amount of multi. Like things get pretty expensive pretty fast. This is relatively cheap in comparison to those, so I would say that I priced it correctly. But you will learn over time what things are worth and like how to price check them. As for things like maps, like sacrifice fragments, all of these sort of things, there is a page on Path of Exile's website called the currency market up here. If you click that, you can just look up whatever it is that you want to sell. So if I want to sell, say, offering to the goddesses to enter Uber, I can just click the offering thing here and say I want to pay for chaos. Or with chaos, right? They're about 5, 6, 7 chaos, sure. You can also do the reverse if you want to find somebody that's buying that thing that you have for sale. Say you want chaos and you have offerings. Just hit search again. And people are paying 3.5, 3.3, like chaos per thing. So you can instantly sell to somebody who's already set up to buy them, or you can sell it yourself by managing your shop over here and just like setting your own prices. I have a pretty detailed video on how to set up for flipping currency if you want to get into that. I don't do it anymore. It's very time consuming. You will spend a lot of time in your hideout trading people, and you won't really be able to play the game that much if you have a ton of rates set up. The way that I used to flip was I had literally every currency. I had it for sale for chaos, and I had it for sale for exalts, and then I was buying everything for chaos and everything for exalts. So it was a huge amount of trades per hour, and I made a massive amount of currency doing it. I mean, I did it for like probably close to a year, and then I got burnt out on it to a point where I was like, okay, I'm playing solo self-found now. I don't want to talk to people anymore. It was just too many trades, but... what else is there that you can price check? When it comes to like, I don't know, things that people say to me, I can't find my item on PoE trade, lower your standards, stop searching for every single role in the item. If you do find items that are similar to yours, and they're like really, really different in prices, like say I search for an item, like that sword for example, there were some for 90 to 300x. I have to put mine somewhere in between there because it's better than the low end, but it's worse than the high end. So you just kind of have to use your own judgment, use your gut, just throw it in a price range in between the two things, and hope for the best. But it really doesn't matter. Like, if you don't sell the item, it's not worth anything. Items are worth exactly what someone else is willing to pay for them. So if you price an item really, 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 really high, and somebody buys it, that's what it was worth to that person. And, like, that's it. You did it. You made a sale. That's a good thing. As you can see, I mean, I've done this strategy for years, and it's worked for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. You can consider following me on Twitch if you want to like ask me questions about this sort of stuff live. I do not do price checks. I make videos like this to help people learn how to do it themselves, because I can't price check everybody's items. It's impossible. I don't even like price checking my own items. It takes way too long to do it sometimes, so I just throw it in random tabs, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, whatever. It's not my problem. But I hope this helps you guys enjoy Path of Exile a little bit more. I hope it helps you understand the economy, the trading, whatever. If you really like my content, you can also consider checking out what I do, or sorry, checking out my Patreon page, link in the description below this video. My supporters over there are hugely valuable and helping me continue to create content for you guys, as this is my full-time job, YouTube and Twitch. So, I don't know. Thanks for the support. I'll see you in the next video. That'll be Demi out.